Welcome to another edition of The Walking Dead.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of EPL on
Class is in session, hitting the books on Pub Sports.
This is another exciting edition of the main event on Talkin Hands.
What's going on, everybody? This is Talking Hands, the interview edition. I'm your boy, Danny Betts. The main event on Talking Hands, especially. I got a special guest on this one, man. I got a guy. You know, I like bringing these prospects or up-and-coming fighters that you don't know about right now, that you need to know about pretty soon. He's 16-3 in the featherweight division. Adam Bruno's Lopez.
What's up, man? How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you. Thank you for taking time and trying to chop it up here and out here to do this interview with me.
Yeah, of course.
I know you're busy, man. A couple of days ago, I think it was 2 days ago, you know, I was on my Instagram, whatever, I saw the announcement. You got a big-time fight coming up, man, January 2023, early January 14th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, January 14th, man, in New York, upstate New York.
Yes, sir, man, against Abraham Nova. Actually, I actually talked to the guy before, so I know a little bit about him. How you feel about that matchup, man, coming up in January?
I like it, man. You know, I think it's a perfect fight for the both of us. We both really need it. He's coming off of a loss. You know, my career had a big shoot up a few years ago, and now it's kind of been a little in the standstill. So I think it's a big fight, big name. I'm glad that he took it. I'm glad that I took it, and I'm excited to go out there and put on a show for everybody.
Yes, sir, man. And that's the thing, you know, watching your fights, that's the thing about you, man. We'll get to your nickname pretty soon, but like your style, I love your style. You know what I mean? You're in there scrap. You're not in there, you know, point decision. I mean, yeah, decision's fine as long as you're getting the dub, but you're in there to get a dub, but, you know, try to get the KO also.
I like to fight, man. I really like to fight.
All right. So let's talk about something real quick. How do you think that fight is going to go, especially, you know, against Abraham Nova? He's a bigger guy, you know what I mean? He usually fights like at 130. He's been fighting at 126 like you. You know, he has some power and things like that. I want to see where's your mind at on this matchup specifically. Not giving away any game plans or anything like that.
So we're both fighting. This is both our fight at 130. I'm moving up to 130 for this fight.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's moving back up to 30. I know he was at 30 before, and he was cutting down to 26. And from what I'm hearing, it really hurt him. For me, my last fight, the last couple weight cuts kind of been pretty tough, but the last one really kind of put me on check. Like, yo, I think you outgrew this weight class. So, you know, I made the decision to move up, and this was the first guy they gave me at 130. I think it's a great fight. You know, Nova, he works hard. You can tell. You know, he works hard. He's a big dude. I'm excited for it. You know, I think I have a little more tools in my toolbox than he does. I think he looks for them big shots, and he doesn't have too many other styles versus just coming forward and throwing big shots. So, you know, I could fight inside. I could box. I could do what I got to do to get the job done.
Yes, sir, man. Talking about that, 130 pounds. When was the last time you fought 130 pounds?
Last time I fought at 130 was when I fought Valdez. But that's when I weighed in at 126, and I just took the fight, and he was 130. You know, it was just those circumstances. And then I fought at 130 one time. I think it was my second or third fight. I was fighting at like 122, but my manager at the time was like, yo, we can get you a fight in like a week, but the only guy that's going to fight you is this guy who fights at 35, and he said he's going to come down to 30 to fight you. And I was like, he was 1-0. I think I was like 2-0. And I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it. I want to fight. Like, let's just make it happen. And I took that fight. So that was actually my first fight at 130 that not a lot of people know about. I weighed in, like, not even cutting weight. Just, like, I just woke up, didn't eat breakfast, and just weighed in.
That's always good, man. You always got to listen to your body.
Yeah, but that fight was it was a tough fight, you know, because I was a lot smaller at the time. The dude was coming down from 35, and I told my manager, I was like, yeah, I ain't doing this no more. I'm staying in my weight class. That guy was pretty tough. But so I fought him at 130, and then I fought Valdez at 130. But this is my first time moving up, you know, on my own to 130.
So you pretty much, like you said, you feel comfortable now You got your, man body now, and the last time you cut like at 126 was kind of rough. So 130 should be your spot now, right?
Yeah, I've been making 126 since I was like 20 years old. I'm 26 years old now, so I'm growing, and I can't stop it from growing. I gotta just let it be. It's only 4 pounds, but those 4 pounds make a difference. So I'm definitely like looking forward to making that weight now. It's gonna be no problem.
Yeah. It definitely does. Like people, that are not familiar with cutting and stuff like that. I used to do that a little bit back in my day. And here at Put Sports, we're huge fans of UFC and things like that. So we keep up with all that. Fighters missing weight, by 2 pounds or 3 pounds. It could be
Yeah. Yeah, man, I've had very bad weight cuts before. The dogbo fight was a bad weight cut. The last fight was a bad weight cut, and it definitely drains you. It takes a lot out of you, and you can't perform your best. Come fight night.
right, man. So let's take it back from the beginning. Let the people know how you started to box. What brought you into boxing?
I got into boxing strictly because my father. He was a fighter, so I grew up just watching him train, and you know he had a big name in his time. Um, so yeah, just as a kid, it was something that I just looked up to him. With fighting, training, doing it all. Like it was just something as a kid. I always knew it was something I wanted to do. Um, Unfortunately, like my dad wasn't really too much in my life once I started getting of age to start training. So my mom raised me. So like she didn't want me to fight at all. So she put me in every other sport you could think of. I played soccer, I played baseball, I played basketball, I played everything, and I loved it all. I was very athletic. But once I got to a certain age, I would bug her, I would nag her like, "Yo, mom, I want to fight, I want to box, I want to do it." She still wouldn't let me, and then I found a kid I was going to school with, and we were on the football team, and he said that when he's not playing football, he'd be at the boxing gym and he fighting. I'm like, damn, for real? I was like, shit, where's the gym at? And he took me to the gym. I met the coaches, and I went home and I told my mom like, hey mom, I found a boxing gym. Like I'm gonna start doing it. And she was pissed, but she told me if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it 100%. You gotta run. You gotta eat right. You can't be hanging out with your friends. You gotta dedicate yourself. And I said, okay. She said, so if you're gonna do it, just do it right, and I'll support you. So that's what it was. And then, I think I was 12 years old when I had my first amateur fight. And I mean, I was still playing football here and there. And then once I got to I was like 15, I said, all right, I'm done with football. Like I'm starting to get older now, and I want to fight as a career. So I got to take this a lot more serious. And I dropped football, and since 15, I've been hands-on boxing.
Yes, sir, man. And I know I could relate to what happened to you back in the day, losing your father. Um, I know it was probably rough for you, but that actually probably pushed you more towards boxing, right?
For sure. We had plans to, he was in and out of jail, and then when he did his long sentence, he went straight to Mexico. They deported him, so I would go visit him, and we'd go train over there, and I'd go train with the Olympic team because he was training. He was working for them, so he was over there training the fighters. That's actually where I met Valdez when I was a young kid. I met him when I was about 13 years old. Um, so I would go train over there, and we had plans. He wanted us to go fight for Mexico for the Olympics and all of that. But once he passed, it just broke my world, and it hurt, man. But I mean, it did. It gave me gas, and it lit the fire in me, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make sure I become a world champion and do and make my father proud.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I lost my father too when I was like 13. So I know exactly how you felt.
Yeah.
It actually pushes you, man, to be a better person or whatever you're doing at that time, sports and
Yeah.
things like that, man. And
Definitely it does.
sometimes people need that little push to be great, and that's where you're heading towards greatness, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. So, in your career early, I know you kind of I admire this about you, but it's kind of tough because like early in your career, man, you're taking some tough ass fights, bro. Tough ass
Yeah.
fights, like
Yeah, man.
Stephen Fulton, and then Oscar Valdez. let's go there. Let's go there. I want to talk about that one. It was a short notice fight, like a short notice, 1 day notice, up a weight class to fight Oscar Valdez. Take us to that moment. How did you get that fight?
Man, it was surreal. It's funny because I saw Oscar right before we both jumped on the scale, um, and I hadn't seen him since I was 13 years old. So we hugged each other, man. I was like, "Damn, you remember me?" He's like, "Hell yeah, of course I remember you." He's like, "It's dope to see you up here. Like your father would be proud. Like you really doing it." We both weighed in. I weighed in first. He weighed in after me, so I weighed in, and then I jumped off the scale. I was drinking my Pedialytes. I was about to go eat, and then my manager at the time, she just grabbed me and she pulled me in. I was like, "What the hell's going on?" She's like, "Oh, they need to talk to you." I was like, "All right." I was like, in my head, I was like, "I gotta go do an interview or take some pictures or whatever."
Yeah.
And then I saw my coach buddy at the time. He was giving me a weird look, and I was like, "What's up? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "They want you to fight Oscar Valdez." And I didn't believe him at first. I was like, "That's no way. Like, why would they want that?" And then they're like, "This dude came in 11 pounds heavy." And I was like,
Wow.
"What the hell?" And then they're like, "What's up? What do you want to do?" And I told my coach, I was like, "Yo, I could beat him." I told him, I was like, "That's a fight I've always wanted." When he was at 126, I was like, "I've always wanted that fight." I was like, "I could beat this guy, buddy." He's like, "Look, I've never seen him fight before. I don't know who he is." He's like, "If you think you could beat him, I believe you." So he's like, "All right, let your managers handle it. Let them do the negotiating. Let's go eat. Let's go chill. Let's go relax and let them get to it." And we sat down, we were eating, and then out of nowhere, I just see my phone blowing up like Adam Lopez stepping up. I was like, "What the
Yeah.
fuck?" I was like, "Shit, that shit just
Everywhere.
boom." And then it was a surreal moment, like people were really giving me so much respect just for taking it. Just to take it,
Yeah.
I was getting a lot of respect. It just felt like a dream for that week. It was crazy, and going in there, like I just looked at him as another dude. Like I didn't care he went to the Olympics twice. I didn't care he was 26-0. Like none of that mattered. Like, look, you got two hands, I got two hands. Let's do what we got to do. And I just let my skills out and show the world that I can fight.
Two things real quick. What was your record? You only had like what?
I was, I think, 12-1 or 13-1 or something. I had one
Okay,
loss to
so
Fulton.
almost, yeah. I think that was, yeah, right before. Yep. Almost
Yeah, I think
half the fights of Valdez.
he had more knockouts than I had fights.
Right, crazy. And not
Yeah.
only that, for people that didn't see that fight, my dude Blue Nose, man, he over here, he was giving him the work. He actually dropped him in the second round.
Second round, I dropped him.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a war. It was a war, man. For one day notice, man. You almost had that fight, man.
And a lot of people don't know, like that before that fight, I was homeless. I was broke. I didn't
Oh
have
wow.
shit. I was going through management problems. The manager at the time who had me, um, he was going through personal issues. I don't know exactly what happened, but he just a month before the fight, I was supposed to fight that day anyway. But the month before the fight, he just called me. He's like, "Hey, I can't manage you no more. I gotta let you go. I got this going on." He was paying my rent. He was paying my car
That's
bill.
crazy.
He was giving me money for food every month, so I was really relying on the man. And then, like 5 weeks before the fight, he just kind of dropped me, and I was like, "Damn, what the hell am I supposed to do?" Like, so I just started making phone calls, trying to look for another manager. Like, yo, I need to just get through this fight, and I'll be all right. I just need to get through to this fight. So I got in the car that he had me use. I was like, all right, I'm gonna use this car for one more week. I drove to Vegas. It was fight week for Canelo. I forget who he was fighting. I think he was fighting Kovalev. I went to go to the fight. I met with a bunch of managers. I was like, all right, my coach buddy set me up with a bunch of managers. We eventually found one that worked. He put some money in my pocket, um, and we went straight to Florida to train. I went with my coach buddy to go train, and I trained for 3 weeks, 4 weeks for that fight. I was just in a bad place, and it's just crazy. Like I was like, damn, should I go get a job? Like I'm broke. Like I really need to make some money. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just hold it down. I'm gonna figure this shit out and get through this fight, and I'll be straight. And boom, opportunity in my lifetime presents itself,
That's
and
nuts.
it's just God's really looking out when that shit happened.
Bro, I had no idea about that part.
Yeah, I was going through
Wow,
it before
dude.
that fight, man. I don't tell a lot of people, but I was really going through it.
That's crazy. And then you get that phone call, you know what I mean? And that makes sense because you said your reaction was like, I can't believe this. He's lying to me, you know, when they
Yeah,
offered
it blew
you.
my mind. Yeah, I was
Because
like,
I
what?
imagine when it comes, like, if you know about the sport with MMA and boxing and stuff like that, if you get a short notice, especially like a day, you again, they're gonna pay you a little, you know what I'm saying? Like a little nice little
Yeah,
check. So they got to.
yeah.
They got to.
That type of money, it changed my life. It set me up, because
Yeah.
when I got home, I was back on my mom's couch. So like I was like, all right, I got some money in my pocket. I'm gonna go get an apartment. I'm gonna get a car.
Right.
I started from scratch. I didn't have nothing on me, so it was cool that I had enough money to get myself back on my feet,
Yeah.
and back to now I'm here.
So let's keep talking about that real quick because I'm interested now. Like, uh, who was your next manager? How did that become your next manager for
Um,
your team?
so the managers I signed with right before the Valdez fight, they were interested in me as an amateur. They
Mm,
would send me to tournaments. They'd buy me equipment. So there were someone who were very interested, and they did their fighters pretty well. So I was like, all right, I could trust these guys. I signed with them. Recently, we just split up, so I'm no longer with them. So I actually don't have a manager at all right now. I'm just kind of running the show by myself. I just have my attorney who's helping me look over all the legal stuff and making
right.
sure everything's in my favor. But yeah. So the manager who signed me right before Valdez, it was Sheer Sports Management. The owner is Ken Shear. He's a great dude, man. It's just we just had different ways of how we wanted things to be done, and
Yeah.
I just needed to make some changes. But yeah, he helped me out. I got nothing but love and respect for him. He really helped me get to where I had to be.
For sure, man. That's part of the business. Boxing is a business too. Something you're not gonna see eye to eye with everybody. So, I mean, it happens. So
Yeah.
after, you know, since you're by yourself now, how did you get this next fight with Abraham Nova?
I mean, I'm signed with Top Rank, so I mean, I have direct contact with Brad Goodman, the matchmaker. My
Mm,
attorney's in contact with them, so they offer the fights, and it was the first fight they offered at 130. So it was just a good fight. I mean, he is coming off of a loss. He's moving up to 130 now. My last fight was a little shaky. I wasn't happy with it. I pulled off the win. It was just a tough one. But I just think the weight cut is what really affected me. But yeah, now that I'm at 130, I think it's a good weight class, especially with Shakur vacating those two belts, moving to 35 now. It kind of opens up the division. So this
mhm.
fight right here, I feel like the winner is right in line.
Yeah, for sure, and it's becoming a nice card. You got Big Shot Shaw on there, a couple of heavyweights. I forget who was the heavyweight main event.
A Jogba.
About yeah, yep. So
Yeah.
there's a couple of nice fights that keep adding to it. So it's a big opportunity for sure. Shout
Yeah,
out to Big
definitely.
Show and Chad in the chat. But yeah, go ahead. What were you gonna
I don't remember. I can't remember.
say? The fight card is a big fight card
Yeah,
coming up.
I've never even been in New York, so
Oh,
it's a cool
okay.
opportunity for me. Being able to go see somewhere I've never seen before.
Okay, I'm right now. I live in Cleveland, Ohio, but originally from Philadelphia, PA. So I've been to
Okay.
New York a bunch of times and things like that.
Cool.
Um, so talk about that. Tell the people where you from. Your nationality and what city you rep. All that good shit.
I'm from Los Angeles. I was born and raised here. LA is such a big city. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm from the city of LA, but the outside cities of
Yeah,
LA. That's where I grew up. Um, I grew up, yeah, right here in LA. My dad's from Mexico. He was a silver medalist for the Mexican team. He fought for a few world titles in the pros. So he was born and raised in Mexico City. My mom, her family's from Mexico, but she was born here. Um, yeah, so me and my brother both. He was a professional fighter as well. We both did it. We were both in the amateurs, training together, fighting together. He turned pro. He was 10-1 as a pro. But he stopped boxing. It's just he kind of just lost the love for it. I think it just wasn't for him. I mean, he still loves it. To this day, he'll still be like, "Hey, like I want to go spar. Go set up some sparring for me."
Yeah,
I'll go set up some sparring for him. Like he didn't even be training. He just want to go in there and just fight. I'm
the
just like,
scrap.
whatever, man. You got to get that itch out somewhere. Rather you do it in the gym than in the streets, you know. So
Facts.
that's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I'm living with my brother. We actually just bought a house together. So
Oh,
we
nice.
you know we keep it in the family and keeping it moving.
That's dope. That's dope, man. And I know you say you never been to New York. I never been to LA.
Oh wow.
Closest West Coast I ever been to was actually Vegas, which was like
Okay.
a year and a half ago. So it was pretty recent.
Okay.
Um, yeah, so I gotta check out LA. You know, everybody keeps going over there.
LA is cool, man. It's getting crowded over here. You know, the traffic is just
Yeah. Oh yeah.
horrible at
That's
times. Sometimes it's not even worth leaving the house. You got to just stay in.
yeah. It's I heard all about it. You know, I've been to Chicago and obviously New York and Philly and all that. So, but
Yeah,
LA I heard is pretty bad.
yeah, it is.
Um, but so it don't have to be. It could be back then, currently. Who's your top three favorite fighters?
Top
All time.
three
Yeah,
active fighters today. I would say Drawn Ennis.
that was my
Um,
guy.
that
Philly
boy's a
guy,
problem.
bro.
Yeah, he's a
but
problem, man.
he he's
He's
different.
a he's a problem. I need to see him with a big name because I know he's gonna
Yes,
walk through somebody.
yes.
He hurting people. But yeah, Drawn Ennis. Let's see. My old coach Buddy McGirt. He's definitely one of my
Yeah,
favorite fighters. I love to study his style. He was just a sick technician
yeah.
in there. And then my father. You know, he definitely was the
Okay.
reason why I'm doing this, and he was such a he had a little bit of everything. He can get rugged. He was slick. He was a showman. He had fun in there, and he got the job done. He was definitely someone that just brings a lot of motivation and inspires me. So he's always someone that I always got to tune back into and watch his old fights. So yeah, I would say them three right there.
Nice, nice. And that makes sense, bro. Because like you know how you're saying you're Mexican, and I'm Puerto Rican. So traditionally in Mexican fighters, they like to go
Yeah,
forward. You know what I'm saying? Bang it out, right?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
a little different. You like to bang it out, but you got angles, you got footwork. I'm not saying Mexicans don't got footwork or anything like that, but you got more. You know what I'm saying? And like the way you're describing your father, I feel like you got a little bit in him. You know, like some stuff from his game to your own game.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I see some of his old fights when he was younger, and he looked just like me and did some of the same like little tendencies, like the way he would move his hands or the way he'd move his feet. Like I did it naturally, not even seeing
Right.
him. Like before I even seen his fights, I used to go in there and do the same thing. So it's like he really just kind of passed the torch to me in a way.
Yeah, man. That's why I like watching you fight, bro. Because it's like, I don't get me wrong. I love technical boxing and things like that. You know, um, but like I like slugfest or in between. But you give it all. You give angles. I'm a jab. You know, I could box you, and then you want to slug it out. We'll slug it out. You know what I mean? So, what's your favorite like part of being a boxer?
Favorite part of being a boxer. You know, it's such a challenging sport. It's such a challenging career that I picked. I think that's something that I really enjoy is that it really taught me some things that I would have never learned outside from doing this. You know, it really challenges you. Like you gotta really want to do it. You're gonna get knocked down a few times, and you gotta figure out a way to get back up and keep it going. And I feel like it's just really turned me into who I am today. You know, like I've taken those same lessons to my regular everyday life. You know, and I feel like that's something I'm really happy that I've learned. You know, because I did grow up without a father, but boxing really taught me. You know, the main things you need to be a man, and I'm just glad that I'm still able to do it today.
Yeah, and that's so true, man. The discipline you gotta put yourself into to become a boxer with the weight cuts and you gotta hit the gym. I mean, you're not gonna be a better boxer without hitting the gym and hitting the pads and the footwork. So
Yep. You gotta
yeah,
wake up. You gotta go run. You gotta
yep,
chill on
yep.
the weekends. You can't go out. You gotta focus.
Right. And I always respect that with any athlete, especially boxers or anybody like fighting, MMA and things like that, because it's tough, man. It's a hard sport, like
Yeah, it is.
really hard. But so I like asking boxers this or athletes like after a fight, after a hard training camp, what's your favorite post fight meal, bro?
Post fight meal. I always get this one, and I can never put my number on it. I got a crazy sweet tooth, so it's definitely some type of sweets or like junk food. But like food, food is like a little. It's a hit and miss. It just depends what type of mood I'm in, what's available, and what's there. I'm not too big on food, but I like sweets. I like
What's
chocolate.
your
I like.
what's your sweet, your favorite what's your
Um,
go-to?
it might be ice cream. It might be. It might be cookies. It might be. I don't know.
All the above.
It goes back and forth. It just depends what type of mood I'm in. But yeah, I definitely like sweets. I got a sweet tooth. Sometimes it's hard to keep in check when I got fights coming
Yeah.
up, but I think that's definitely my guilty pleasure. Pleasure is sweets.
I feel you, man, because like it I'm trying not to say it the wrong way. Like you get that urge, like you want
Yeah.
a chocolate. I love chocolate, Reese's, chocolate chip
Yeah,
cookies.
Reese's is my
You
favorite.
literally get that urge, like I gotta have it. Like it's like a little drug. Like I have to
Yeah,
have it.
it is, man. It really is. It's
It's
tough.
hard. So
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean by that because I love chocolate. Like my wife knows she's always buying me Reese's and stuff like that. So I'm like, yo, you tone it down. If it's not here, I can't eat it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
um, besides boxing, like you got any hobbies? You know, anything you like chilling, watching Netflix, certain shows, or any other sports you like?
I play Call of Duty. I like playing Call of Duty with my
Warzone?
homeboys. Yeah, we get on Warzone.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Besides that, my time gets taken up. I got two dogs. I got a German Shepherd and I got a Belgian Malinois. They both just had a litter, so I got puppies right now. They had a litter of 10 puppies, and I'm down to 6 now. So I'm trying to find homes for them. But that's like a full time job right there.
No, yeah.
Thankfully, I got my brother. He be helping me out like crazy. But yeah, I mean, I don't do much. I like to go bowling. That's something I did pick up this year. I did with my homeboy, who's another fighter, Lewis Rose. We be bowling a lot. I got a bowling ball. We take it serious.
Oh yeah, I play for fun, but I'm competitive as hell. You could be beating my ass, but I'm still talking shit.
Oh yeah, hell no! I'm gonna get mine back.
Right. But yeah, I seen the pictures of the puppies actually I think on Twitter. Beautiful dogs. Beautiful
Thank you,
dogs.
man. Yeah, they're great. They're beautiful bloodline. They're beautiful dogs.
Yeah, man. Shit, if you were closer, man, I might because I actually need one. I had to rid one of my dogs, but
Oh shit.
I love dogs, man. I had two of them. Now I have one. So, but
Okay.
dude, there's out. There's one huge trilogy fight coming up, right? I only say one. There's another trilogy fight coming up too, but that's not Tyson Fury and Chisora. Who you got? I'm pretty sure I know who you're going with.
Tyson Fury for sure, man. Tyson Fury, he got too many tools. He could box, he could slug. He's one of my favorite fighters too. He was
Yeah,
almost in the top 3. He's great, man. I love how he entertains people. I love
yeah,
his style. He's too big, man. I can't see no one beating him. I really can't.
yeah. I mean, me neither. The only guy I think could give him some like a different look at a hard matchup is Usyk. I know
Yeah,
he's way smarter, but his footwork and speed is just like
yeah. He's
you know.
he's someone I would love to see him fight. I think that's the only guy left that is fighting
Yes.
who he needs to fight. Who I would love to watch. Besides that, I can't see no one else giving him a problem.
Mm-mm. Like he'll whoop. Everybody wants to see Joshua. I'm like, bro, he'll whoop his ass.
He gonna walk through Joshua. Yeah, Joshua's too
like
slow, too stiff.
yeah, Usyk, beat him twice easily. But
Yeah.
now the trilogy fight I want to talk about is Roman Gonzalez, aka Chocolatito, versus Estrada 3, man. I don't know
Oh,
if you who you got for that one? Oh, I think we lost him for a second. Oh, hold on. We can't hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
You hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Good. I'm a big Chocolatito fan. I really like his style. I like he's got like old school style to him. Um, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Chocolatito.
Yeah, bro, I'm with you, man. So we got this show. I mean, this is part of the show. We called it the main event. It's on Talking Hands on Post Sports Radio here on Tuesdays. Me and my boy Preston, we always break down the fights coming up. You know, we give people our best bets and things like that. And I'm a huge Chocolatito fan. I thought he won the second fight. I don't know if you remember that fight, if you saw it or not,
I don't think I
against
saw it.
Estrada. I mean, a lot of people thought he won, but they gave it to Estrada.
Mhm.
So hopefully that doesn't happen here. But he is so underrated to me, and I get you could be included in this too. Like I always hate when people don't give love to like the lower weight classes, bro. Like you
Yeah.
guys always bring the best fights, and people just miss out just because the little guy, the smaller guys. I'm like, bro, I tell all these guys like I'm on Post Sports Radio. I'm the main guy on boxing. And I tell them, like, bro, look at everybody. 140, 147 is great. But below
Yeah.
that,
They throw hands.
they
They let
throw
the hands
hands.
fly. For
Right.
real.
Right. And I
Hell
always
yeah.
tell people that, man. And that's what I'm trying to do, to bring, interviews and stories like yours up there so people can know. Because like, man, like that next fight you got up, that's gonna be a crazy fight. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like it's a fight of the year candidate. I think it's a great matchup. You know, the styles that we both have, the IQ that we both have. You know, Nova's a great fighter. I'm a great fighter. I think it could definitely be a fight of the year candidate fight.
Yes, sir, man. So we'll close it out pretty much. I like giving the floor to the fighter, to end it pretty much. Any sponsors out there, anybody you want to shout out, where people can find you on social media and things like that, man. The floor is yours.
Okay. Shit. Sponsors. I ain't got too many sponsors.
Hey, shoot your shot, right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I do got Foreign Genetics. Shout out to Foreign Genetics who's sponsoring me. They've been holding it down for a few years. Papa Juan's over there in North Hollywood. Great food over there. If y'all in LA, amazing food. Shout out to my coach Ivan, who's a real soldier, man. He's always got my back. Shout out to my moms for always. She's my guardian angel. My brother, he's another angel of mine. You know, thank you. I just appreciate the people I got around me. Everyone tune in January 14th, man. It's going to be an amazing fight. Fight of the year candidate. Me and Abraham Nova, we're going toe to toe. Tune in, ESPN.
Yes, sir, man. Go make sure you go follow my boy on Instagram, on Twitter, any other social media you got there.
That's mostly what I use, Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is Blue Nose Lopez. You can find me right there, and then Twitter, I think it's the same thing, Blue Nose Lopez.
Oh, bro, I'm mad at myself. Hold up. I gotta ask the question real quick.
What's
How you
that?
get that? How you get that nickname, Blue Nose?
Everyone asks me this one. They like it. My brother gave it to me when we were younger. He would just say I'd fight like a pit bull. That what he was like, bro. You fight like a little pit bull, and blue's always been my favorite color. And it kind of gets passed down from my father because he always used to have true blue on his shorts. So blue was always his color. To him, it was gang related. I'm not gang related
Right.
at all. But it got passed down from True Blue to Blue Nose. That's why I spell it BLU without the E, because
Right.
that's how he would spell his blue. But yeah, he would just call me Blue Nose, like a little pit bull, and I liked it because it got some meaning to it. You know, pit bulls, they say, are bred to fight, and I truly believe deep down that I've been born to do what I'm doing.
And that makes a lot of sense, bro. I actually got red nose, so I know what you're talking about. He's overprotective. He's going, don't even come
Yeah,
close because I'm,
got that
so.
lockjaw.
And like I said before, man, that's why I love watching you fight, because you're in there to fight. You know what I'm saying? You're in there to get that dub. Like, if you're gonna lose, the other guy better, make you lose, because
You better
you
earn
going in
that
there
shit.
right.
Yeah.
You better earn that shit. So shout out to you, man. Thank you for taking your
Thank you,
time for
man.
this interview.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
No problem, man. Good luck on your fight coming up in January 14th. Hope everything goes well with the weight class and training camp and everything like that. Management, your family, everything, man. Shout out to you.
Thank you, man.
I'll keep in
appreciate
touch.
it.
I'll keep in contact with you on Twitter and Instagram, man. Shout out to you. This is the main event on Pub Sports Radio. Check us out on Tuesdays, 7:30 Eastern, when we break down all the fights coming up in the weekends. And if you're watching this, you still got time. Tomorrow, the parlay of the weekend is Chocolatito money line, Roman Gonzalez, and Tyson Fury knockout, -115. Thank me later. Let's get out of here.